Hey everybody, welcome to Halftime Live on Brew Sports. A very good Friday to you. No, not the Lenten Good Friday, but a very good Friday to you as a whole. The week is coming to a close, and it is an exciting time because we, here at Brew Sports, have a very exciting day to celebrate a very exciting person. That man, that myth, that legend, Tanner Burke. What are you... I'm trying to be nice to you. It's Tanner...
Priorities, Baxter, priorities.
It's Tanner's birthday, everybody, if you didn't know this. Tanner Burke celebrating...
It's a gosh darn day of celebration.
18 years of existence on this great green earth.
18? 18? Is that...
It's a root beer, I
18?
promise. It's a root beer.
Yeah, right. Jeez.
You got to stop doing the steroids. So, happy birthday, Tanner.
Shape. I am in shape. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm in shape. Well, how's your birthday been going so far?
Good. I'm ready to go. As you can see, I'm wearing my Sunday Funday shirt.
Hell yeah.
My wonderful, beautiful girlfriend bought this for me.
Look at you.
For yesterday, so I'm very
I love
grateful
it.
for that. And I figured
it's your birthday. You do what you want.
It's casual Friday here at Brew Sports, so I said, you know what?
Absolutely.
I'm going to celebrate Sunday Funday a little early with
I'm all about that life. That makes total sense to me.
birthday celebrations. So, how are you today? How was your show this morning?
It was really good, actually. Jamie and I had some good stuff. We got a little heated with Conor McGregor and
really
with
you and Jamie. Did you guys fight?
We did. I threw her on the table. She then hit me with a chair. It was very interesting.
Really?
I had to redo the table here basically.
That explains why this chair is a little uncomfortable today.
Yeah, you can see probably the back of my skull bends perfectly.
I was going to say something. I was going to say something about that.
Help me.
But yeah, so here we are. It's Friday. It's another beautiful day.
It is. We're excited. We're going to be joined by Justin Bradford in our second segment to talk about the NHL and the NHL Expansion Draft and just player awards. I think you basically just want to talk to Justin about the Boston Sabres. Sorry,
the Buffalo
Sabres, because you were talking to your brother before we went on the air, and he was like, you should just ask him about the Sabres. And Justin's a really smart guy, but I don't even know if he knows what's wrong with the Sabres, honestly.
I don't know what's wrong with the city of Buffalo from a sports standpoint in general. We've been going through
We've been trying to figure that out for a long time.
But yeah, no. So, we're going to talk some NHL. It's going to be fun. We haven't really had a chance to really dive into the NHL yet, so I'm pretty excited, as you know.
Yeah, I'm excited for that as well, too. Jeff wishes you a happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Jeff, I haven't had a chance to drink any of my beer yet, but...
We are 2 minutes and 37 seconds. That beer should be empty by this point, Tanner.
I know. I was thinking about storing a second one over here, but yeah, because the ones up there
just continuously keep drinking at this point.
Yeah. So, anyways, what? I see you don't have a beverage today.
I don't. No, I had a mimosa for lunch for breakfast. Jamie and I had cinnamon rolls and mimosas after we got off the air, and I. Just had my normal lunch as well, too, because I had to do a funeral after this, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's all right. Going to take care of that a little bit later on as well, too. But, I can't be frivolous right now with my drinking. Yes. So I'm going to save that for later tonight when we go.
I was going to say, are you going to come celebrate with us later?
If you'll have me, I'd like to come and celebrate with you.
Of course. We'll have you.
Well, good. I'm excited to do that. Ian, I'm glad you landed in Florida safe and sound. Ian, one of our weekly show hosts on Bubbler Banter. Going down to Florida for a short period of time. So, Ian, part of me is glad that you made it safe. The other part of me is angry because I would rather be in Florida right now.
Yes.
But I understand. Good for you. Do some fishing.
Mom is celebrating my birthday down there in Florida as we speak. She called me right before we went on, too, and she was talking about how much fun they're having at Disney right now. And I'm like,
Mom, stop.
She's like, I'll pull up a picture of you on my phone, and we'll take pictures of that, and we'll just pretend that you're here.
It's not the same.
I'm like, that's not how it works.
No, Mom.
I'm working.
Thanks, Mom, but
I'm
no.
working.
All right, Friday, Friday flight,
a lot of
whatever and Fridays we want to do.
Let's survey the land here. It's Frothy Friday.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I see you don't have a beverage, but I will at least review this beer real quick.
I have to go drive right after this, so that's why I'm trying to be respectful with not having a beverage at the moment. I'm drinking with you in spirit, though.
Yeah, always. Today I'm doing a Sierra Nevada Maple Scotch Ale. So
Maple Scotch,
whatever that means. But I'm, being from Buffalo, I'm practically Canadian, so I figured maple. I like a nice glass of Scotch from time to time.
Do you? You're a Scotch man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So.
I almost believed you. Jake wishes you a very happy birthday. Jeff also says you should have 2 beers because it is your birthay. You do what you want.
I know.
Jake says that he thinks we should do a Brew Sports Live at the bachelor party.
Yes.
I'd be all about that.
Jake's my best friend, and he is getting married this summer.
Oh, congratulations, Jake.
Fun story. I'm sure this will come up at the wedding, but Jake and his fiancée met at my high school graduation party in my backyard.
You're welcome, Jake.
So it was only right that I was bestowed the honor of being the best man. So yes, so Brew Sports live at the bachelor party. That sounds like a great segment, a great idea.
I like that. Aaron also wishes you a happy birthday. It's also Aaron's birthday.
Happy
Aaron,
birthday,
big
birthday.
guy.
We look forward to spending some
salute
time
you,
with
sir.
you later.
Tom says, happy birthday, big guy. That is Papa Tom.
Papa Tom.
What a guy. Happy birthday. Appreciate that.
He's a crazy character, but yeah. So we it's also it's Friday Flight. We have our Friday Flight.
Friday
today.
Flight. Some of the top sports stories that are moving around, trending, people are talking about, or we just feel need to be discussed. Basically,
the Friday Flight's a fun segment because we basically pick little nuggets of stories that don't really need to be talked about too much, but are fun and. It gives us a nice, fast-paced segment and throw a bunch of information at you as quick as possible.
You're right. All right, you lead us off with our flight.
All right. My first little segment here, little snippet, is I'm a little frustrated about this because we've talked about it before. Nobody really knows what's going on down there. But what in the H is going on in Washington?
What the hell is going on out there? Nobody's tackling.
Usually, I mean, throughout the entire NFL season, I'll be stuck talking about what the H is going on in Buffalo. But for right now,
we're not there quite yet. Somebody else is currently worse off than the Buffalo Bills. How do you feel about that?
It's amazing to me. It really. I mean, the Bills made a lot of moves yesterday, but that's a whole other segment itself. But Kirk Cousins gets his franchise tag, which will entitle him to $23.9 million, which some people would say, yeah, that's a lot of money. He shouldn't be complaining.
Wow, but my fault. I don't know what's going on.
We have music on this show now?
A little bit of music, a little bit of slow jam in there. My fault.
Slow jam.
That's what happens when I turn away from the quarterbacks or from the computer for a hot moment.
But yeah, so Kirk Cousins gets his franchise tag, $23.9 million, which some people would say, yeah, well, he should just shut up.
23.9?
23.9.
Like 13.
It's above the. I think it's like equal to or around the average of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league or something like that. But
the more you know, I guess.
But so he gets his franchise tag, but he does not want to play for Washington. And
no, he doesn't. He asked for
a
trade.
Yeah, and the guy who decided to give him the franchise tag is no longer working for the Washington Redskins. Their general manager gets fired for alcohol problems. Now, I'm just going to say, if you have alcohol problems, your boss probably already knows that. So why wait until after the new season for the NFL starts to fire the general manager? He's made all these moves. Like, what happened within 5 minutes of signing a franchise tag for a guy that doesn't want to be there? You're like, yep, you know what? You're a drunk. We'll catch you later. Go to Cleveland.
Probably will.
I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know. So it's so confusing. It's fun to watch. It's basically a reality show. But
well, you also hope that a guy like him gets help though as well too. I mean, anybody struggling with alcohol will tell you that the first step is admittance, as with any disease or any sort of addiction.
Quite true.
But apparently, officials were saying he showed up drunk in the locker room on multiple occasions. This has been a disaster for 18 months.
I guess. There were also a couple reports that I read saying that he did not go to the scouting combine and he was not allowed by the organization to talk with the media at the Senior Bowl, which, his excuse was he had to attend a funeral or something like that. And quite frankly, I'm just going to say he was probably, I mean, that's my opinion, so it's not official, but he was probably under the influence.
Yeah, don't quote me on this one, yeah. Jody says happy birthday Tanner. Adam says happy birthday Tan Man. David says big birthday shout out Tanner.
We're gonna get a lot of comments today.
I think so. Eric says, when are the Packers gonna stop re-signing Ted Thompson? Give the job to Elliott Wolf. # another wasted season.
Yes. So.
Eric's fired up. I understand, Eric. I share your sentiment, and that is my Friday. As part one of my Friday flight is what the hell is going on in Green Bay?
What the hell is going on anywhere?
Nobody's signing anybody. It's
unbelievable.
Stupid. Absolutely ridiculous. Bolshevik. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it, basically. But yes, what's going on with the Packers? I don't know. They're not going to re-sign Jared Cook. We found that out today. Adam Schefter reported that from ESPN, that the contract negotiations between the Packers and Jared Cook have broke down, so they're not going to do that anymore.
Micah Hyde gets
to the
sent
Bills.
to Buffalo.
But we re-signed Nick Perry. That should be worth something, right?
All right.
It's not. Eddie Lacy's probably going to go play for Seattle and run for 3,000 yards next year because that's a very former Packer player thing to do.
Naturally.
I don't know. What is Green Bay going to do? I appreciate the fact that people trust me enough to ask my opinion for something like this, but I don't know what the hell's going on. Nobody knows what the hell's going on with Ted Thompson. I mean, we heard from Bill yesterday that he had to go wake up Ted Thompson in a hot tub because it was like, yo, Ted, it's free agent signing day, do something. And he re-signed one of his own players. It's like, no, Ted, go sign somebody else.
Yes.
Go sign Donta Hightower. Go sign Adrian Peterson. Go find us another freaking tight end now because apparently it's going to be Richard Rodgers for the rest of the year, and that's not going to go very well.
I also want to talk about one other thing really quick.
Please.
That happened.
I got one more thing,
I
too.
talked to you about it immediately after we got off air. I was watching the Marquette Seton Hall game, and I got a notification about this. So Brock Osweiler gets sent to Cleveland, and so Cleveland acquires Brock Osweiler and his contract and cap hit.
Yes.
Along with a second-round pick. So basically what they did was they acquire somebody who wasn't going to play for the Houston Texans, and they also get the second-round pick. Now, the Cleveland Browns had over $100 million in cap space, and there is talk on the street that Brock Osweiler may be traded again, or he may just get released.
That's amazing.
Cleveland and Brock's one-night stand. I think it's genius because Cleveland essentially what they did was they bought a second-round pick by acquiring and taking on Brock Osweiler's contract. Cleveland doesn't care about their salary cap. They don't care. They have plenty of space. So
Adam believes that Brockenship is landing in Cleveland, which, yes, that's where he currently is, obviously. I think, but Cleveland, I've made the argument that Cleveland is doing something right, though, at the same time. They've been signing great players.
It's beautiful.
They've been signing an offensive line to actually not have their quarterback completely decimated.
There's something going on in this world right now.
You're drinking. I'm not drinking. This is a weird world we live in. Jeff wants to know if the Packers will re-sign T.J. Lang. I think they should. The fact that he's even talking to the Detroit Lions, I think, is just idiotic.
Yeah.
Like, why? That's almost like, hey, I've got a Porsche, but I really, really want a Honda.
I mean,
really want a Honda.
Have you driven a Honda, though?
I have.
Man.
Great gas mileage.
Yeah.
But it's like, I've already got a Porsche, but, the Porsche, it sometimes is just a little bit too hard to keep up. So I think I just want a Honda.
In an age like this, where gas prices are, still expensive.
Government, man.
Would you take the 40 MPG or would you take the 17 Porsche?
17.
I'd take the 17.
17.
I'd take the Porsche, sell it, and then buy my Honda and go have go have dinner, a lunch and dinner. How about that?
Lunner.
Yeah,
David says he believes Cook will be back, but I don't think so because apparently, according to, like I said, from ESPN this morning, that the Packers and Jared Cook aren't talking anymore, and he's going to go field all these other offers from all these other teams. So I don't know what you make of this, honestly. It seems a little idiotic.
I don't know. I mean, I can only talk about the Cleveland Browns for so much before I just want to vomit.
Who?
Exactly.
Trevor says, happy birthday from Turber. He also says Cleveland's goal is to acquire literally all of the draft picks. The Cleveland Browns are going to just literally draft every single person at this year's NFL draft.
Why not?
Browns and the Patriots.
You're gonna probably get a couple secret stars in there. Couple hidden gems.
Did you hear about Jimmy Garoppolo?
No, I didn't. What's
going
on
there now? Did you hear what happened to his Instagram?
No.
So if you haven't heard, people are losing their damn minds because Jimmy Garoppolo, early this morning, I think 4 a.m., something like that, posted a farewell thank you to the Patriots organization. I think it was something like, it was him in a crowded Super Bowl, had the trophy in his hand, very happy-go-lucky, and it basically just was like, thank you, Boston, thank you, blah, 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 thanks for the memories sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that's all it was.
Okay.
It wasn't like I'm officially leaving. You're just like, thanks for the memories, boss, and we'll catch you later sort of a thing.
It sounds a lot like he's leaving.
All the reports supposedly are saying hacks. They're like, it's a hack,
What?
it's a fake, it's a fraud. Adam Schefter was like, it's a fraud.
Adam Schefter doesn't know what he's doing.
The only problem in this whole scenario, and I told this morning, Jimmy hasn't denied it.
Oh.
Jimmy's done nothing. He has not come on the record yet and been like, guys, joking. Somebody hacked me. Oh, darn. Patriot players are liking the post on Instagram. LeGarrette Blount and James White liked it. Usually if this is a fraud or a fake, people don't touch that.
Now, does that just mean that he just doesn't want to be in New England anymore?
Well, I feel like he wouldn't make that post if he wasn't coming back.
I agree.
I mean, I don't know. Adam says Jimmy should
Whatever.
go play in Denver.
Yeah, get out.
Sure.
Get out, Jimmy. Go away.
I have no idea.
Okay.
David says fingers in the ear. Not listening. Cook will be back. La, 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 la. Fingers in ears. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree with you. Maybe. I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe he will be, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
But anyway, what do you have you ever been hacked on social media? Ever left your
One
Facebook
time,
open?
I wasn't hacked.
Given your password
Well,
out?
I've had people post stuff on my Facebook and whatnot,
Yeah,
just
same
college
here.
buddies. But I had one of my cousins who was she's a very talented singer, and she was on American Idol, and she had a crazed fan. And this
I didn't know
fan,
you know Kelly Clarkson?
she created a profile on Facebook pretending that she was my cousin. So when our family members started getting friend requests from a second cousin, I was like, what's going on? Do you have another page that you didn't tell me about?
Yeah, it's a little strange.
And so this person, we had to report her, but yeah, this person created a Facebook page. Like, it's ridiculous.
That's some sketchy stuff
scary.
right there.
It's scary.
That's very scary. I'm not about that.
But no,
life.
I've never been officially hacked.
True. Trevor says Adam Schefter is like the Santa Claus of free agency, everywhere and nowhere at all times. It's true. I feel like Adam Schefter, like, he sees you when you're sleeping. Like, he's watching. He's like, where are you going to go, man? Like, he's asking people, like, Jimmy, like, where are you going?
Jeez.
I was waiting for Adam to come up and be like, I was with Jimmy last night. Like, I didn't
Yeah,
see him.
right,
Like,
right.
I don't know. I'll have to check again, but I'm almost positive that that Instagram post was still up.
It probably is.
I'll check as we go about our lives.
If it was
here.
hacked, I feel like it would have just gotten taken down. But whatever.
You'd like to think so.
Anyways.
I don't know. Let me see. I'm checking right now. Page is loading, and it's gone.
Sure.
It's gone.
And it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. So
put this thread in here, and it's gone.
yeah, so he's actually gone.
Okay.
Or no, he's not actually gone, but like his post thanking the world is officially gone now.
Right.
So the most recent post was 6 days ago now, instead of this morning. So, from all accounts, to my knowledge, it must have been a fake. Or Jimmy was like, oh, crap. Yeah,
Whatever.
It says Garoppolo deletes goodbye post now.
All right. Read into that what you will. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo's agent says Instagram was hacked with farewell post to Patriots.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know if I believe that. Yeah. Usually when things get hacked, like it's more noticeable, you know? I mean, it's something ridiculous, but like something, just a total like racist comment or something. I don't know. Something that I wouldn't believe that the person would say. And
yeah,
Jimmy
exactly.
Garoppolo. I could see that he would say that.
I don't
Jimmy
know.
G.
Adam says that Schefter is on a 3-week bender, apparently, based off of what he's got going on right now. And I agree with that. I mean, do you know how much Adam Schefter makes a year just from ESPN?
I want to know, but I feel like I don't. But go ahead, tell me.
$1.2 million.
Is that it?
$1.2 million.
Is that it?
A year.
So I need a raise.
I love how you're saying that's it.
I know.
Like, that all?
that all?
That little old thing? All right, we should probably get to our guest, huh?
I suppose.
He's been doing a
I was gonna
wonderful
ask-
job of just sitting, hanging out.
I was going to ask what the franchise tag was for ESPN employees, but yeah, we'll go on.
We'll have to debate that later. All right, joining us on halftime. I was going to do
We'll
that.
get it sooner
You're
or later.
hosting happy hour.
It's like when you move up to a new grade in high school or whatever, and you have a new teacher, and it takes them about 3 months to figure out what your name is. Mm-hmm. So we'll just give you a couple more months to figure that out.
We'll see what happens. All right, Justin Bradford is one of our many talented correspondents that works here on the Brew Sports Network, and he joins us now to help us dive into the world of hockey. Justin, how are we doing today, sir?
Hey, doing all right, guys. Happy birthday.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Everybody keeps getting that in, so I got to get my birthday.
I appreciate it. Yeah, but it wasn't on Facebook, Tanner, so it doesn't count, though. So I don't know, Tanner, if you want to accept Justin's happy birthday to you.
Send me,
it's kind of like how people are like, we're not actually friends until you friend me on Facebook. Then
True.
we are actually real friends. Like, we've known each other for 15 years. No, it doesn't count.
Yeah, we're just coworkers right now. So what does that even
we're
mean?
acquaintances. Like, is anybody really anybody's friend
You got to see
anymore?
that friendship.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes, exactly. Well, talk to us about the NHL right now, Justin. Tanner is eagerly awaiting the interest of the expansion draft, and I know, Tanner, you want to expound on that a little bit more, so I'll kind of throw the floor over to you now.
Yeah, I mean, the NHL is in an interesting time right now where we are starting to get geared up for the playoffs. We're starting to notice who's in, who's kind of on the bubble, and who's kind of falling out. But the NHL Expansion Draft is really interesting to me because it happens but like once, like
I'd say it's not like Major
once
League
every
Soccer
20
where we
years,
have
you
an
know?
expansion draft every other year, I feel like.
4 expansion drafts ago. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm just curious. I'm just curious because there's a lot of people out there that don't really know what the expansion draft entails, and I've done a lot of research on it, but it is still a confusing topic. I mean, what should people expect moving into the expansion draft? Are they going to lose their favorite players? What is Vegas doing to prepare for the inevitable mediocre franchise that they will eventually have?
Well, what fans can expect is chaos, number one. No, I'm kidding.
Sounds about right. It's Vegas, so what did we expect?
So if you want to place bets on how much chaos there will be, they can feel free to place bets. But it's one of those things that's very unique to sports in general with this because it doesn't happen that often. Like you said, the last time it happened was when you had that expansion era in the late 90s, early 2000s when Nashville, Atlanta, Minnesota, and Columbus entered the league. So to put it in a better way for fans that are scared of losing one of their favorite players is at least it's not 4 franchises entering the league within 3 years.
Yeah, that's true.
That right there made it very chaotic in terms of teams having to prepare for that and for the future, and it made it really tough on teams to adjust. So only one team entering. It's been a long time. Talent's been able to rise up from the ashes from the era. But the thing that is most unique about this expansion draft is the way they're running it this year, compared to years past, and that they want Vegas to be as hopefully competitive as possible, given their start as a team, not necessarily become a playoff team right off the bat, but be competitive. So the way they're doing it is there's only a certain amount of players that can be protected. For instance, teams can choose from one of 2 options. The expansion draft is either 8 skaters and a goalie, or they can go 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, and 1 goalie.
Okay.
So that's the 2 options. One option obviously gives more forwards for you to protect, and it depends on how your team's built and your organization is built.
That's interesting.
So in terms of favorite players, when players have to be protected, if they have a no movement clause, not necessarily a no trade clause, but any sort of modification in their no movement clause, they automatically have to be protected. So
you have to use them, essentially, is what you're saying. So if you have somebody who has a no movement clause, you have to assign them to one of the positions that would be one of your protected players. It's not just,
absolutely,
they're not just omitted.
Yep, and now, right, and so some teams it's good, some teams it's bad. For instance, Chicago, they have 8 players with no movement clauses, so they're pretty much set under they protect unless they trade. Then you have other teams that you might have a player that maybe their no movement clause was in their contract that was signed 3 or 4 years ago, but now they've kind of fallen off by the wayside. And so that's where you could see some interesting things happen in terms of trades or trading rights. But if the team doesn't want to have to protect this player, they may trade that player off because they're not producing. They want to protect another player that's maybe a younger player, but is still eligible to be picked in the expansion draft. So I'm trying to cover this as much as I possibly can in a short period of time. With the way that players go is they have to be past their second year of professional hockey. So that counts in the American Hockey League as well as the National Hockey League. I know that's been confusing for a lot of folks there. And they also have to play a minimum number of games, whether they're a forward or a defenseman, and the player has to be under contract. So what we've seen this year is teams signing contracts to maybe 1 or 2 year extensions at a very minimal cost.
Right.
Boom, all of a sudden that player is eligible. So it's there's a lot of strategy going on with general managers. As we always see, general managers in any sport find loopholes. They're very good at that. And so we're seeing that happen here lately with players getting contracts that maybe you wouldn't expect to get an extension in the middle of the year because they're a bottom-tier player. So the biggest thing overall for fans to realize is that only 1 player gets taken per team. They don't need to worry about all these different players coming from the team. Most of the top players can be protected unless the team sees some reason for them not to protect that player. So favorite players, top players should be protected, should be okay. Vegas should be competitive, and it depends on their management. They're going to be better than the Colorado Avalanche.
Well, that doesn't take much, though.
Yeah, that's right.
It doesn't say much, but hey, at least they're not last. And the way they'll have a big time draft coming up as well. Figuring out their minor league team. They have a lot of work to do, but that's what the league wanted to do, is give them an opportunity to at least be competitive and build from there instead of starting from scratch, like, for instance, the Predators had to do in Nashville, and it took them 6 years to make the playoffs. We're hoping for Vegas to be playoff competitive 3-4 years in, maybe.
And
that's probably possible.
And that's what I was going to ask you, too, a little bit more, Justin, is what is a realistic potential start, I guess, for Vegas? Because obviously anytime a team starts, fans get excited. There's always that pre-season or early season hype and bubble where we're like, oh, we won our first 3 games. Like, woo, we're going to the playoffs. Like, obviously that's not realistic, of course, and especially in a sport like hockey where it's such a long, grueling season. But without obviously knowing the roster right now, I know it's hard to really predict and be like, okay, well, this team, based because of these players, is going to go to the playoffs this year. They're going to win, 50 games. But what I guess should Vegas fans, the 3 that are out there, should Vegas fans kind of keep in the back of their mind as a more realistic opening season, I guess?
Sure, and to build on that, they signed their first player last week. And Reed Duke out of Brandon Wheat Kings, and he was actually a draft pick of the Minnesota Wild, but that expired, and so now he's signed with Vegas. So he's their first player in franchise history, so it's exciting just for them to have that trivia as well and to have that player to build off of. But in terms of what they should expect, especially with the way the NHL wants it to be run, if Vegas, and here's the thing, it's going to depend on the drafting and the expansion draft and the drafting at the entry draft and free agency and how this team is going to perform. If they want to be successful, they have to get a mix of young and old, and they can't just go with young, and expect it to do well. Franchises that are going to do well and at least be consistent should take the Nashville approach, is where you get some young players and you get some vets that are going to set the standard for that franchise. Right. Players that have good leadership ability. They're maybe not top players, but they're maybe getting close, maybe in their mid-30s even. But they're going to set an example for how this franchise is going to be run, what to expect in the locker room, what to expect on the ice. Because if you get a bunch of young players sometimes, there may be good leaders, but then you're not having an example set of players that maybe have playoff experience and have been there before. And you want that type of nurturing to happen in the locker room, especially with a franchise that's still young and new. And the thing that they're going to deal with is a lot of traveling fans coming into their building. Vegas is a destination. It's a tourist city. They're going to have to deal with people cheering for the opposing team quite often for a while until they really get established. And that's okay. They know that. They're already set on packages for visiting fans, but it's one of those things. They will eventually build that fan base. Vegas is a big city with a big population. They'll get their own fan base, but it's going to take some time.
Yes.
But if they do it correctly, this team should be competitive enough, especially in the NHL where 8 teams from each conference make it. They should be competitive enough in 2-3 years if they do it right.
Now, I have a question. I'm curious. I mean, I'm a big Sabres fan. I'm curious, when will the public know who each team is protecting? Or will that even be made public before the draft? I mean, is this something that we're just going to have to...
That's a very good question.
Yeah, I mean, it's
scary.
It's
a very good question because that's something. It's very scary, and there's a couple different ways to look at it. It's been getting discussed at the general managers meetings this week in Boca Raton, Florida, because obviously they're going to go to a warm place in the winter.
Of course,
it's just been getting discussed at the general managers meetings, from rules changes for next season. It's a brainstorming session, but one of the things that's being addressed is, do you make the protection list public? And so there's some general managers that want to make it public because of possibly their ego and want to show who they're protecting. And there's other general managers who don't want to make it public because it could hinder relationships with a team and the player/agent, wondering, well, is I not good enough to be protected? Why'd you do this? Wondering strategy. Yeah. And it could hamper contract negotiations, things like that. So I totally get why you would not make that protection list public. On the other end, it'd be extremely entertaining for it to be public, and boy, oh boy, it'd give stuff to talk about on the blogs and radio shows.
Yeah, exactly. You got to give us something to work with, I feel like, as well, too.
Yeah.
Justin, final question from us here before we got to let you run, unfortunately. Adam on Facebook wants to know if you can figure out any of the potential NHL bubble teams that that aren't in the playoff picture yet, but could potentially make it in. Do you have any insight for Adam and for us about potential playoff teams?
Sure. Now, it's going to be tough. The East is very, very good this year. So there's a huge battle going on, especially for those bottom spots, because the Metropolitan's pretty much set with Washington, Columbus, Pittsburgh, all in the 90-point ranges.
Right.
Then you have a bunch of teams in the low 70s, upper 60s. And Toronto, I think, would be that team, because right now they're on the outside looking in by 1 point.
Yep.
Trailing the New York Islanders 74 points to 75 points. I think Toronto's that team that's going to find a way to score it in because they have the offensive talent.
They do.
Can they stop the puck from getting in as well? Tampa, it's interesting, but since there were sellers at the deadline, but they're still making that push. So they could easily be in there as well. But I think those are the two teams to watch out for. Philly could always do it as well. But those are the three teams I think it's going to be really tough. I'm sorry to say for Buffalo. They're kind of wasting away some of the talent they have on that roster right now.
When you have a minus 27-point differential, that's...
There's only so much you can do with that situation. All right, Justin, good stuff from you, sir. Oh, sorry, we got to cut you off, unfortunately, but thank you so much for joining us. Where can people find you on social media to keep up with the latest NHL news that you've got coming out?
Sure thing. You always follow me everywhere that social media exists at Justin B. Bradford.
Fantastic,
Beautiful.
Justin. We'll talk to you soon, all right, sir? Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
No problem. There goes Justin Bradford here on Halftime on Bruce Sports. Some very good insight from Justin as well, too. You're more of a hockey guy than I am, despite the fact that people
I could probably
yell
sit here
at me.
and talk to him about hockey all day. So.
Well, you don't, and that's the thing, too. That's how I am with a lot of soccer people, too. Hockey, I feel like, is still such a niche sport, though. It's not not even the most casual person can talk about hockey like they can about the NFL.
Hockey is very regionalized
Yes.
when it comes to the fans. And what I don't understand is why is the NHL putting another team in the South, especially in a city where they're not going to have a fan base that will be there and root for them in and out? The people who are going down to Vegas are tourists and retirees. And I've talked to people who lived up here in Wisconsin who now live in Vegas who say they could literally care less. The people down there could literally care less. If anything, they're upset about it because they have to pay taxes on everything and the team's coming in.
Well, you know exactly what it is, of course.
A gimmick?
Well,
I don't know.
Money.
It's
money.
Of course it is.
Of course. You throw. It's an event. It's a destination
but you need
for
fans.
Vegas.
You need fans,
I agree.
so...
I completely agree, and I see the idiocy in putting a team in Vegas as well. I think no franchise should be in Vegas.
I mean, you got a couple teams in Florida, and you have one in Arizona, and they're all struggling to keep fans in the seats.
Yeah.
And you have cities up north, even north of the border, that would die for an NHL team.
I feel like you can't put a cold sport in a hot climate.
You can. It's possible. It's doable. Heck, they've played outdoor games in Southern California, and it didn't necessarily pan out very well. But there are cities that have been successful in warm climates. I mean, Carolina's won a Stanley Cup. There's the LA Kings have constantly been good. So there are teams and cities that have consistent fan bases. But when you're talking about passionate fans, I don't know if you're even going to get. I mean, what do you do about season ticket holders? Is it all corporate when it comes to Vegas?
It has to be. And you just give a bunch of your sponsors basically tons of tickets and just pray to God that they actually bring people to games. Obviously, hockey, baseball, those are good, deal closing kind of sports. You can't really close a deal at a football game.
True.
Soccer, you kind of can. NBA, you kind of can as well, too. But, football, I think, is a little different. But you go to a hockey game, you go to a baseball game, it's hey, let's get a beer, let's get some food. All right, let's talk business a little bit. Oh, look at that great goal. Woo! But, all right, so, the numbers last quarter were a lot better than we thought. You can work it in a little bit more with hockey and baseball as that kind of is going on. So I think it'll be a very driven in that regards. Ryan makes a good point on Facebook, too. He says they put a team down there in Arizona, he says, to expand the game. He said, without the Coyotes, there's no Austin Matthews.
I do understand.
I agree that, yes. But, what about every other sport? If there's no Green Bay Packers, there's no Brett Favre or no Aaron Rodgers. If there's no Patriots, there's no Tom Brady. We get it. Certain things come from certain teams because of drafts and trades and all that. If there's no Bruce Sports, there's no Tanner and Baxter.
I do understand.
I hate to break everybody's hearts about that, but that's the truth.
Bettman wouldn't be doing his job if he wasn't looking to expand. I understand you need to expand, especially since hockey has always been this niche sport. It hasn't been in the top two, in regards to football or baseball or whatever. But you look at what Roger Goodell is doing with the NFL. They're playing football in Europe every year, a couple weeks in a row.
If you'd have told somebody that 15, 20 years ago, they'd have laughed at your face, be like, the British don't want us to play American football.
They used to play football in Toronto and Canada, too.
Hey,
not anymore, though.
Those are the days,
Not anymore, though. But, so they wouldn't be doing their job if they weren't thinking about expanding the market. But they've tried it. Yeah. They've had teams in the South. They've had teams that were successful in the South. And they still struggle to get the consistent fan base, and the passion that you get up north in some cities in Canada and in the Northeast, and even up in Minnesota. When Minnesota lost their team to Dallas, that was one of the most ridiculous things in the entire. You have a fan base that loves hockey.
Literally,
the state of Minnesota absolutely loves.
They live and breathe hockey.
And when you take their team and you move them to Dallas, do you think anybody in Dallas could care about hockey at that point? Absolutely
not. If it's not the Cowboys or the Mavericks, they don't care.
That was, that was a whole nother
That was
problem
a head
in itself,
scratcher
but,
when that move took place.
I mean, they changed the name of the Minnesota North Stars to the Stars.
Dallas Stars.
It wasn't even before they said that they were moving the team from Minnesota to Dallas, they
Stars.
just took the Minnesota part off the logo. And that's when everyone was like, hold on.
Wait a minute.
What is going on here? And then, a couple months later, they're living in Dallas. So, whatever.
It's
I
like
get
what the
frustrated
Rams did
about
when
that.
they moved to L.A. It's like St. Louis Rams, it's like delete. Los Angeles, like
But why not,
same logo.
Why not
like, come on.
you could throw a couple more teams up in the Northwest or even,
Or even the Central.
Seattle,
the
I'm
Midwest.
sure, would love another
Seattle
sports
wants
team.
another
They're
sports
all
team.
about sports teams.
They are.
love athletics up there. And it's great. You got the Sounders. You got the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mariners. When they're semi-decent. Peter wishes you a happy birthday on Facebook, by the way.
Peter. Thank you to everybody who's wishing me a happy birthday.
David says, what's not a niche sport? Baseball.
Baseball, yes.
Shut your mouth, David.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding. But come on, how many common people, I use my wife as an example because she's a good mixture of, because she gets the sports because of being married to me, but previous to knowing me, she knew, football a little bit, she knew basketball a little bit because she played and followed the sports a little bit, but she, I feel like, represents a lot of, the line, the average line. If I were to go up to her and ask her what she thought of Connor McDavid's hat trick last night, she'd be like, I don't know who you're talking
Who's Connor
about.
McDavid?
Exactly. I only know that just because people get that name beat into their heads if they follow hockey.
Right,
It's like,
right.
he's this great starlet.
He's
If I were
the
to
prodigy.
go up to her and ask you, she probably would know maybe a Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez because those guys were just blasted in the lights for such a long time. Yeah, but if I were to ask her, even
Marion Hossa or Jaromir Jagr.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff, or even about baseball as a whole. What do you think of David Price's injury? She'd be like, I don't know what that means.
Is he okay?
Yeah, poor guy. What happened, kind of thing. And that's nothing against my wife. I honestly, I work in sports as a living, and sometimes I don't even understand half the things that are taking place either. That's why you have to literally focus in. I feel like the NFL and maybe the NBA are really those only two sports that you can be the most casual of fans, but you're going to know who LeBron is. You're going to know
that the
is.
Bills haven't made the playoffs in 17 years.
Exactly.
I get it.
I didn't know it was 17, but I knew it had been a long time. But you get what I'm saying.
Yes. No? It's been many birthdays since I've seen a Bills playoff game.
Yes. Well, speaking of birthdays, I thought for birthdays, I felt like it would be a good thing to not only give you an opportunity to just have the floor.
Have the floor?
But we can also reflect a little bit.
Supposed to do magic tricks or something?
No, you don't have to get on the table and read us a story or anything.
Doing
but
some stand up for everybody.
I always feel like when it's somebody's birthday, you want to. Sometimes people feel like they're a year wiser, a year or whatever. Sometimes they've learned, they've seen some stuff. Over the last.
I've seen some stuff. Yeah.
So I don't know. I just kind of wanted to give you the floor for a brief moment to just kind of chat about your birthday and just a quick review of how you're feeling about life in general going forward.
Baxter, not many people know this, but I'm glad that I am here for another year. Not many people know this, but when I was in college, I used to smoke cigarettes.
Oh, really?
And I smoked a lot.
Oh.
And it was bad. I smelled bad. I hid it from people at times, and it affected relationships, and it just made me an unhealthy person overall. Thankfully, it has been several years now since I have smoked cigarettes.
Congratulations.
And there's a debate out there on these, but I have this to thank for my life today. I understand that there's still some research that needs to be done on them, but I have been cigarette-free for over 2 years.
Congratulations. That's fantastic.
I have this to thank. So I am here for another day, and it's an honor, and I'm glad that, since I quit, I am able to be here hosting a ridiculous sports talk show with my good friend Baxter Colburn.
Well, it's a pleasure and an honor from my end as well, too, sir, and I'm very thankful to have you here for another year as well, too.
It's tough because, I've had family history. My grandmother passed away before I was born from lung cancer. So how am I supposed to, I didn't know who my grandmother was. So that's, some people have lost their parents. It is a touchy subject, but I am glad that I am still here today.
As am I.
Yes.
Well, we are very thrilled as the Brew Sports family to have you a part of it.
25 and living strong in the dad bod.
We love it. A fun fact here, not to spoil your birthday banter here. Adam says, fun fact, E.J. Manuel is the only NFL quarterback to lose a game in 3 different countries.
Oh, my God. You know what's funny about that? And I So the last time the Bills played in London, can I talk about this really quick?
Go right ahead.
It's
your birthday. You can do whatever you want. You can hijack the show. I can leave if you want to just go after it.
Real quick, I thought I'd take a drink before I'm about to go on this rant.
It's fine. Do what you got to do.
So the last time the Bills played in London, our quarterback got injured. He was injured before the game, so we knew that he wasn't going to start, and we were playing the Jaguars, which at the beginning of the season we put on our radar as an automatic win. So I was like,
W.
We're going to win that game. Now, of course, being in London, the game's not going to be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's going to be more like 9:30 in the morning.
Yes, a little bit more difficult.
Now, Tanner thought it'd be a good idea to be prepared and have some mimosas for the game. So I got some champagne, some cheap champagne, and I got a thing of orange juice, and I was sitting there with my roommate watching the Jaguars game, but it was at 9:30 in the morning, and I'm not a morning person, which is why I don't host the morning show, but I woke up right about the end of the first half, okay? And the game was still up for grabs, but E.J. Manuel's going out there, and I woke up and turned the game on just in time to watch E.J. Manuel turn the ball over 3 times in a matter of minutes. And 2 of those resulted in touchdowns, and 1 resulted in a field goal. So in minutes, a win against the Jacksonville Jaguars in London was gripped away from me, and then I had a whole different reason to drink mimosas.
Yeah,
so,
at that point you're just like, whatever.
That was the turning
anymore.
point of that season, and we ended up losing the game and then not making the playoffs because of that. But yeah, so
well,
we don't need to talk about that.
It's fine. We can kind of transition from that. Did you know?
This is my luck.
Today
What's today?
is Mario Day.
It's Mario Day?
Like the Let's Go.
Really?
Like Mario. Today is Mario Day.
March 10th? Every March 10th?
Apparently, according to
Wow.
Facebook, it is Mario Day.
What does that even mean? Should I go home and
You
play?
celebrate the legend that is Mario, basically.
Okay.
From a sports thing, I mean, people like to go karting. People like to play all the different. I can't even think of it now. Mario Kart. That's what it is.
Mario Kart.
I know.
Mario
I know friends that are
Brothers.
going go-karting later today to help celebrate Mario Day. So I guess that makes total sense. Did you know that you
Is
can
that
go,
why they're doing that today?
It must be. You can go to
Oh,
Japan
man.
and you can dress up like Mario and Luigi and drive go-karts through downtown like Tokyo or whatever.
That's great.
It's ridiculous. Were you a big Mario fan back in the day?
I was. I grew
you
up,
still
I
are?
grew up with the I grew up with the NES, and I was initially a Nintendo kid, and I watched my brothers play a lot of video games because I was never very good at them. But now I can hold my own, which is nice. But yeah, Mario Party, all the fun stuff. But I have a couple people I want to wish a happy birthday to really quick.
Oh, okay. Go right ahead.
If that's all right.
Absolutely.
Now, fun story. So I do a lot of film work in Milwaukee.
True.
Obviously, and I once looked a lot like John Hamm. At least that's what people told me. I didn't even know who John Hamm was. I had no idea.
Okay.
I had never seen Mad Men, and I kept having these people like,
Google
"Man, you
John
look like
Hamm."
John Hamm." I was like, okay. So I started watching Mad Men. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that! Like, I guess we kind of look alike. Mine, plus 40 pounds, whatever.
On John Hamm's part, not yours.
But yeah, right. But I came to realize that John Hamm and I actually share the same birthday as well.
Really?
Yeah. So, John Hamm, I want to wish you a very happy birthday, but that's not all. That's not all. So, it's also Robin Thicke and Carrie Underwood's birthday, so I wish them a happy. Robin Thicke is 40 years old.
Really?
Robin Thicke is 40 years old, yeah.
Looking good for 40.
Yeah, he looks a lot better than John Hamm right now, who's 46. No offense. Hey, maybe they're a year older than that.
John looks
I don't
good,
know.
though. I'm
I wonder
looking
if
at
this is
John right
updated.
now, and I mean, he's a good-looking,
He looks
middle-aged
good.
gentleman.
Now,
Jonathan Daniel.
I do have a bone to pick, though. There is somebody who shares the same birthday that I do not appreciate.
Is it Tom Brady?
And no, thank God. Osama bin Laden's birthday is today. It's unbelievable. But you know how I'm going to counter that? I share a birthday with Chuck Norris, and I'll tell you what, Baxter.
Today's Chuck Norris's
I'll
birthday
tell you
as
what,
well.
Chuck Norris and Tanner Burke win that battle against Osama any day of the week. Any day of the week.
March 10th is like
The
the greatest
best
day
day
in the
ever.
world. Holy crap.
I mean, I could go through. There's some more people in here. I think Pele's birthday is today.
What?
Yeah, so.
Well, I mean, obviously we know our friend Aaron has a birthday today, too, which is a
Yes,
huge deal, of course,
yes.
which we're excited about. We're going to celebrate with him later.
Samuel Eto'o.
Oh, Samuel Eto'o, yes,
his,
from
his
Chelsea and Barcelona
birthday
days.
today,
Yes. Congratulations,
So
Senor
that's
Eto'o.
about it. I got a couple other random people. I don't know who Bo Fish is.
I'm sure he's a
but
great guy.
He's got wild hair.
Wild thing. Did you ever? What are some of your most notable birthday memories, Tanner?
My most notable birthday
Yes.
memories. my family would always go to Florida for Easter. My grandfather has a timeshare down there, so my memories of my birthday always entailed of taking a long 21-hour drive in a van with two older brothers, eating fast food and watching 70s and 80s movies on VHS, but only to get to essentially the happy place of Orange Lake in Florida. And it was basically a family reunion because I had families spread out across the United States. So having that, my birthday was always like hey, we're only like 2 weeks away from going to Florida. But you might find this funny. I'm really into like models. Wait, let me rephrase that. Model figurines.
Oh, okay.
Giselle, if you're watching, I may rethink that. But yes, so I was big into, like, I would do model airplanes, I would do model rockets, and I loved miniature scale replicas. So when I was 5 years old, all I'm seeing on 90s Nickelodeon is, like, Polly Pockets, and I'm like, those things look sweet. So when I was a kid, I asked for Polly Pockets for my birthday, and I got them. So, yes. So that would probably be the craziest birthday stuff. My mom does. My mom hasn't thrown away any of our toys. So
really?
Yeah. So
just
I
holding on to for the grandkids.
Yeah, they're cool though, man. Scale replicas.
Yeah.
Like,
I tried to do that when I was a kid, and I just could never.
I'm all about it.
Not about.
So yeah.
Couldn't about that life.
I had to. I had to throw it out there, but yes, Tanner
the Polly
Pockets when he was a kid. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I got a couple of surprise birthday parties throughout the year. I thought that was really good.
Nice.
Holy cow. Tom on Facebook says, you share all of these, Tanner.
Whoa.
Today's the daily holidays. International Bagpipe Day.
Wow.
International Day of Awareness. I feel very aware.
Awesomeness.
Today is Landline Telephone Day.
Landline Telephone Day.
Kids these days don't know what a landline is. Today's Mario Day.
Middle name Pride Day.
Quentin.
Daniel. It's another funny story, yeah. So people always ask me, oh, your name's Tanner. Is that like Danny Tanner? I'm like, no, Daniel's my middle name.
Today's World Sleep Day.
World Sleep Day.
What are we doing here?
Taking advantage of that.
U.S. Paper Money Day.
What does that even mean?
Salvation Army Day. National Women and Girls HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. National Pack Your Lunch Day. I packed my lunch today.
I did too. I actually brought it. I didn't forget
even
mine
know.
Today. So.
And the National Blueberry Popover Day.
And Andrew says Tanner shares a birthday with Chuck Norris. Yes, Andrew, I do share a birthday with Chuck Norris. It's pretty great.
David says, I kind of presume Luigi Day is like February 29th or something lame like that.
Poor guy.
Seriously. And then Trevor says Mario Kart as well, too. Everybody played drunk Mario Kart back in the day.
Yeah, we used to call it, when I was in college, it was called drinking and driving. You had to finish your beer by the end of the race or something like that.
Ooh. Did you ever play like Rainbow Road? I feel like Rainbow Road is enough to make me drink as a whole.
If you're under the influence of alcohol and you're doing Rainbow Road.
Rainbow Road is always like a trip on LSD.
That's when you usually move to Super Smash Bros. Or something like that. Yes. When you play Rainbow Road and everyone's like, this sucks. Somebody gets frustrated, hits the reset button. They're like,
favorite Super Smash Bros. Character, go.
Kirby.
Ooh.
Yeah, I could kick some butt with Kirby.
Link.
I would frustrate people because I would never die. And the reason why I picked Kirby, I was like, I can basically be you if I wanted to be.
It's true.
I could steal your power.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
And when you knock me off the map and you think you've killed me, I have like 40 hops to get back on the map.
So annoying. And then your favorite Mario Kart?
Yoshi. I was Yoshi. Yeah, so...
I would have to Toad. Toad's my guy.
My oldest brother always played as Toad. Trevor's a huge Luigi guy. He was always Luigi. But that I believe, because we played a lot of Super Mario Brothers when I was a kid, and I believe the reason why Trevor is a Luigi fan is because he can jump higher and longer.
And can Trevor also do that?
He would never admit it. No, I don't know.
Oh.
No.
Oh, well.
I'm just saying he picked him because he had another ability that people didn't necessarily know about.
Ah, okay.
So
Makes sense.
He basically cheated.
If you're a Super Smash Brother fan or a go-karter, drop it below. We got to know. We got to hear. We got to see.
Yes.
Ultimate mashups. I never got the fact when people would do Mario Kart and they would choose Bowser. I'm like, you realize he's the slowest character in the game.
They're like, but his top speed is immaculate. And you're like, yeah, but
it takes you the entire race to get to top speed.
You don't accelerate. So when you get hit with a shell, you're basically in last place again. You're lucky you get a bullet bill. It brings you back to fourth, and you get hit by a red shell again, and it starts all over. So.
Exactly. Trevor says Captain Falcon Falcon for days.
Captain Falcon
Show
for
me your
Smash
moves.
Bros. Yeah, so.
Trevor says also Trevor equals Luigi. Yes.
He does.
Trevor.
He does.
Equals Luigi.
But yeah, so Ryan says Yoshi for sure. That's true.
Makes
That's
sense. Makes sense. All right, what's coming up this weekend?
What is coming up this weekend? Sunday is a big day, my friend.
Selection Sunday.
Sunday Fun Day. Selection Sunday is right around the corner. I have some teams that I'm looking at that I am excited to find out if they will be in the tournament. There's a lot of bubble teams, but we'll see. I want to see where some of the great teams fall.
The great teams.
You know, a couple teams fell out yesterday in their respective conference championships. Baylor lost, Kansas lost, so a couple big names going down. And that's going to stir some seedings up a little bit, and it's going to possibly affect the bubble down at the bottom too. So we'll see what happens there. We'll have a lot to talk about Monday morning.
Monday as a whole is going to be a hot day.
Monday as a whole, yeah. College basketball Monday.
Yeah, we are going to have a Brews Sports Bracket Challenge as well too, which we'll give you guys more information about as we launch it.
Absolutely.
There'll be prizes.
Do you have a college basketball team that you root for?
Not really. Badgers.
Wow. Hey, you hear the gas getting let out of the balloons.
I really don't like basketball. No, I do. I really don't want people to think that I hate sports.
Everyone's out there sitting and like looking at the thing like, oh my gosh, Baxter's going to tell me what his favorite college basketball team is. And then he's like, I don't really care.
No, I do care.
I don't care.
I support the Badgers. I do.
All right.
But
That's fine.
I'm weird. We can spend a whole nother day talking about my weird sports.
Your weirdness.
My weirdness in sports, because it's like I love sports. I love drama. I love everything to do with sports. But I'm so picky about the sports I actually care about.
You know, I don't know if many people know this, but Baxter used to be a very good kicker for football. He was a soccer player, but
I actually had more success in soccer.
On Monday, I want to show the video of you kicking what I believe was like a 45-yard field goal with the dancing.
I can pull it up right now.
You want to pull it up?
If you want to give me
a
hot minute,
I'll give you a
second.
second. But Baxter basically kicked, what was it, 45 yards?
40-yard field goal.
40-yard field goal
with a ballroom dance shoe.
With a ballroom dance shoe, which is like, why?
Why not? I guess that's really the real reason.
What is
why
going
not?
on in your life that all of a sudden you're like, yeah, you know what, today I'm going to see if I can kick a 40-yarder with a ballroom dance shoe.
Longest field goal I've ever made with a regular shoe on is 53 yards. Longest I've ever made barefoot is 60.
So you hear that, Browns? Sign him up. He can't be that bad.
I don't know if I want the Browns.
He can't make us worse. Yeah, so one other thing I wanted to talk about really quick before we pull up his video is Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow. People are still hating on Tim Tebow, and he has never done anything to really take anybody off aside from just being bad at sports sometimes. But they're like, why is he going out and playing baseball? Why is he going out and playing baseball? You know, like he's a dead athlete, but this guy's going out there. He's making money. He's making money. He's doing what he knows he can do to make money. And people are hating on him for the Mets organization, but that's my only shtick. True. Let the man just play.
Let him play.
Like, who
let
cares?
the kids play, ref.
He's gonna be a broadcaster again at some point.
Yeah, he's a great broadcaster.
Yeah.
All right, you want to see it?
I do.
All right, here it is. 40-yard field goal by me. Woo! Because Tanner brought it up.
Yes.
Check it out. Maybe.
An indoor shoe. Now, ballroom dancing.
Unbelievable.
Look at that. The way it flows together. However, these have about a 1.5 to 2 inch heel on them, throwing my rhythm off. They're also a size smaller than my left shoe. It's going to be a bit awkward. So we're going to go for 40
analysis.
yards just
Blisters.
That's what we do. Let's see what happens.
So many blisters. It's not a legitimate kick. You don't have somebody holding
shot
it
off
for you.
an iPad 2 here. The video quality is just absolutely stellar.
Do you have 700 views on there?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Here we go. For the win.
Right down the middle.
Boom.
Right down the pipe.
Drilled it.
Oh my gosh. So that was.
That's the key to kicking.
Yep.
That's the key to kicking.
You heard it here first. It's a ballroom dance shoe, apparently,
my gosh.
folks.
Did it hurt?
No.
Like, I can't imagine ballroom dance shoes can be that comfortable.
No, they don't have much to offer, but no, it didn't hurt.
This guy. He can just do it all.
All right,
can
Tanner.
do it all.
I'm going to let you close the show today because
Okay.
it's your birthday. So you say what you want to say to get us off the air, and then I'll just basically shut it down when we're done.
Real quick, before we do that, can you pull up one last video and kind of swing us into the weekend?
I can, except my tab closed, so I don't have
That's
it
all right.
anymore.
We'll show it on Monday.
I'm sorry. Forgive
That's
me.
all right. That's all right. We're going to swing you into the weekend. I want to thank everybody for watching and all your birthday well wishes. Again, I am thankful that I am here another day. Cigarettes are bad, see, and Baxter's attitude keeps me going day in and day out. So thank you for watching. If you want to follow me or wish me a happy birthday on other forms of social media, you can find me at Banner Turk. I'm sure I'll be Snapchatting a bunch of the festivities from later tonight. So go play some Birrio or some Mario Kart. And, so Baxter.
You want to take a Snapchat right now?
Do we?
Would
Yeah.
that make life?
Yeah, absolutely.
Here, we can see if this wants to load here. Oh, flip it around here
Live
real
on
quick.
air?
There.
This
Live
has been
on air.
done before, right?
There you go.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, so thank you all for watching. Don't forget to go like our page at Bruce Sports.net. We also have a website, www.brucesportsnet.com. All of our videos are also posted and hosted on our YouTube page at Bruce Sports. If you're using us on Twitter or anything like that, we are at Bruce Sportsnet as well. Hashtag Bruce Sports. Be sure to like our page, get our notifications for every time our show goes live. You can pick the shows that you want to get notifications for, and share, like, and be a part of the conversation every day, day in and day out.
Yeah.
Just
Good
comments, help lead the discussion, help derail this freight train that is halftime with Baxter and Tanner. I'm going to be on the show later today.
You are. You're filling in for me on Happy Hour with Tika Griesbach.
So it's going to be Tika and myself.
One time is not enough on your birthday.
I'm excited, though.
4 p.m. Central.
4
Better
p.m.
watch.
Central. I'll be back on. I'll probably be wearing a different shirt or something. I don't know.
Do what you got to do.
We'll see. Come talk sports and drink with us later on.
Sounds good.
I don't know.
You want to?
I don't do this.
You don't close it out?
I don't do this. Where's the prompter?
He's
Shouldn't
Tanner
there be a
Burke.
prompter?
I'm Baxter Colburn. Thanks so much for watching Halftime. We'll see you guys back here on Monday, and we'll see you at 4 p.m. for Happy Hour as well, live on Bruce Sports. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.
Cheers.